the Gordon Lovecraft.
Yeah,
canon.
I guess so, because it was just like loosely based off that story. Then he wrote his own story. Yeah, I got my first 10. You got
Scott,
Videodrome editor from Beyond,
Yep.
and he's got 2 10s now. That's
Two
fucking
10s.
bullshit.
Well, I could have more 10s.
I know, I could too.
If we did The Thing, or if we did Dawn of the Dead, or I mean, I gave Martin a 10, didn't I?
Yeah, that's
No.
what he's saying. Yeah, I gave it a 10.
He did? You're on
Yeah.
3 10s.
Yeah.
Right, no, I think you gave
No, you
that a
didn't.
9.75.
Yeah, you didn't give it a 10. Just Videodrome.
Well, Martin's a 10.
That's bullshit. You can't do that. Can't do that.
It's on record now.
Fuck it, you can't.
No, if I said 9.75, that's probably firm.
Before you go, Scott, I know you've been itching and dying to score this one, or at least say something, because Jesus Christ, we've been carrying you this whole time.
No, fuck you.
When I did my I started fleshing out my top 100 list, and my top 10, I'm not gonna give any of the movies away, but after like 6, there's no more 10s. So
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I'm critical. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Scott.
All right, well, I've been, just like you, I've been debating on this one for a while. Like, is this a 9.75 or is
Wait,
this a
going
10?
back to that top 100 thing,
Okay.
I'm just cutting off Scott to be a dick. But really, though,
All right, on to our next film.
No.
That's how you do it.
the top 100 thing is going to feature a lot of director repetition from me.
That's another thing. I was like, how many fucking...
There's going to be like a lot of Carpenter, a lot of Cronenberg, a lot of Fulci, a lot of Romero.
I'm gonna try and be
a lot of Gordon.
I'm gonna try and be fair and not put too many Carpenter movies in. Just I don't know. It just doesn't
There are
seem
going to
right.
be at least 5 Carpenter.
I know
movies.
it doesn't seem right that you're gonna put like so many fucking
Probably
movies by
one in
director.
each block of 10.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
There's
saying-
10 fucking by Fulci.
And for me, with my top 100, I already told myself I'm excluding...
On to the next film.
Hey, fuck you. I'm excluding 2017 films that I've seen so far because I've rated a couple of them really high, and I'm like, I want to wait to see how they go.
Spoiler alert!
Scott gives everything a 9 or a 10.
In my
all the
top
time.
5, I have a newer movie.
The Witch.
I'm not saying
It's
which
The
it
Witch.
is. I'm not saying
No, I
which
was
it
gonna
is.
say-
It's The Witch. Scott, what
Go
do you
ahead,
give
Scott.
this movie?
You're an asshole.
Well, like I said, I was going back and forth for quite a while on this. If it was 9.75 or a 10. Well, this is going to be my second 10 as well. This movie was just fucking great.
You fucking shithead. You did
What?
this because I don't like that I get my first 10 and it's totally fucking deflated by your 10s.
No, that's like this is a momentous occasion because this is your first 10. This is our
We're all
second
10s.
10.
You guys, it's old hat to you and I wanted to be special, but it's
You are
wait.
special.
This is like basically the official movie of the Horror Drunks podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the first
because we
10
can't
all
do
around.
we can't do the thing.
We could.
We can't do the thing.
We can do whatever we want. It's our fucking podcast.
We could do the thing, but we
We could even do. Maybe we could do it on like a John Carpenter retrospective or something.
all right.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going,
There we go.
We're going to do a Carpenter.
Oh, then that's my
episode
second.
eventually.
That's my second 10. I
Yeah,
gave
that's a
Reanimator
10.
and this
The
one.
Thing is a 10 for sure.
Yeah, for sure. There's
The
no
Thing's
question.
like a 12.
Yeah, I'll say. But one of the reasons I give this one a 10 is just like in Reanimator with Herbert West and his obsession. I love Barbara Crampton, how she kind of becomes that like obsessed character
That's
like
a good
Herbert
point.
West.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because like she just
the
was
first one,
curious at first,
in
and then all of a
Reanimator, she
sudden just
wasn't.
doesn't want to stop at all. Like she just wants to continue.
Well, it makes her
continue.
fucking horny.
No,
as
yeah,
fuck,
this,
bro.
This
It's like a drug.
This movie definitely does let Barbara
Ken Forey even says that to her. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
"I've seen this out in the streets."
give me a hard on.
No, that's not exactly
me
what
a-
he says. But when,
No, what he's talking about being in the Resonate.
yeah. When they're eating breakfast, he says that. But when she's trying to fuck him,
Right, yeah. You look like acting like a junkie.
I've seen this in the streets, and he's like, "You're asking for it, girl."
Huh?
Like, oh, dude, that's a plot hole because that could have branched off into a porno.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I would have definitely fucked. I don't care if I'm a old, worn out football player, just achy all over the place, and have a job to do as a cop.
more of-
I'm
yeah,
fucking
that's
that.
what it was more about, is that he's like a good
You're trying to
cop.
be a professional. I'm fucking that though. Fuck that. The way she. Oh, dude.
This movie is probably, I mean, I would say that it's Barbara Crampton's best performance. It gives her a real chance
Yeah.
to, like, flex her chops.
Yeah, she's
you know?
not being
Yeah, she's
upstaged.
not just, and she's
at
not
all.
just like the damsel in distress in this one. She's like kind of the one that kind of instigates everything. Like after a while, because she forces Crawford to do everything.
Yeah, she's definitely obsessed with the
Wait a minute. What'd you say?
forces Crawford.
Oh, okay. I
Because
thought
Crawford Tillinghast.
your last name is Crawford.
I know.
Okay.
That's why it's easy for me to remember him as a character with
Yeah.
his first name.
Well,
With-
yeah. If it was Dadless Ken, I would have remembered it too.
But also, like, the score on this was great. The effects are great. The lighting's great. Pretty much, yeah. Like,
The lighting from the that I think that was like
It's not all great. It's perfect because it's a 10.
well, I was gonna say that's what makes it perfect is because everything about it is.
It's
great.
all perfect.
We stop doing that into the mic like that.
No, I want a red line.
You are, and
Red line Randall.
I'm doing that with my blood pressure right now too. So.
I'm up here right now.
But the Resonator is a really good excuse to have Gordon include a lot of colorful lights and stuff.
The pinks.
Yeah,
I like the pinks a lot.
I do too.
And like you
Who
said,
doesn't?
the pinks of the '80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the
Pink
modern
and purple and yeah.
So that's From Beyond, and
The slimy pink 80s.
they stole my 10s. But
Perfect 10.
on to our next film.
Judy,
Yes, Ralph?
these dolls, they're alive, aren't they?
Sure they are. Remember when you talked about toys coming to life at night?
Oh, but Judy, that was just a little story.
A true story.
Why don't we just get out of here?
I don't think they'd like that.
Yeah? Well, the hell with them! Let's go!
Ralph, stop! You're making them angry, Ralph!
Oh, I'm offending the toys? Excuse me! Ah! Sorry!
All right, this is the next film is Dolls from 1987. Obviously directed by Stuart Gordon, written by Ed Naha.
Perfect. There you
Who
go.
also wrote Troll
Nah.
and Chud 2, Ken's favorite jerk off movie,
I jacked off to it the first time I ever jacked off. Go, Scott.
and Dollman.
I never jacked off the doll.
No, he
man.
wrote Doll
Oh,
Man.
okay. Should I jack off the doll? I'll jack off to anything right now. I don't give a shit.
I know.
The doll effects all done by John Carl Buechler.
Buechler is just a fucking effects juggernaut, dude. That guy has done some of the best. Well, he did some stuff on From Beyond. So
Yeah, I know.
he did like the coolest looking Jason Voorhees.
Oh, for sure.
All the effects in Hatchet are fucking
What's Jason?
part
Part
7.
Oh, okay. That's the
Cage
mask
zombie.
I have, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We have, of course, produced by Yuzna again.
Yasna.
Yuzna.
No, there's not two variations. It's Yuzna.
All right, sorry, Yuzna. Fuck
It's
you.
not tomato.
The cast is pretty
Okay.
serious in this one.
Yeah, Ian Patrick Williams.
Guy Rolfe is he was in William Castle's Mr. Sardonicus. He played the title character.
And he was always smiley.
Yeah, it's basically a rip-off of The Man Who Laughs, but the Joker is based off of Mr. Sardonicus and The Man Who Laughs, and if you haven't seen that William Castle film or the rest of his filmography, then you suck and you need to watch all of them.
I mean, that's
Also
his opinion.
stars,
You might not suck.
But Guy Rolfe was also Toulon in my favorite Puppet Master movie.
Oh, shit, he was, too. That was part 3, wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he got pigeonholed as a doll guy after this.
he? I guess he did. Yeah, then Carrie Lorraine is Judy.
Hilary Mason from Don't Look Now and Robot
Hmm.
Jocks is the old woman.
One of those fucking punk fucking
The punk
horrors.
girls.
One of those was the Aha girl in A Hot Take on Me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one with the black hair. She
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the girl in the video.
That's crazy. How funny. I didn't know that.
Can't believe I remembered that.
And then, of course, we mentioned him earlier, but Stephen Lee is Ralph Morris, which he's probably my favorite character.
Oh, Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph is
Ralph.
he's the
The man-child is what I called him.
yeah, no, he's like the comic relief of this movie.
Yeah, he is, for
and
sure.
the hero.
And then, I say pretty much that's the cast, so I'll get into it, but
Ooh, I can't wait for you to get into
I'll
it.
get into it so deep. But
Yeah,
anyways,
right. What are you packing?
a whole 14 inches, baby.
You fucking better not be. I'd be so fucking pissed. Smallest dick on the podcast, probably me.
No, it's probably not.
No.
I know. Didn't you say yours was 6.66 or something? I don't know. Mine's bigger than that, maybe.
But,
I don't know. We're not talking about dicks, right?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, we can always talk about dicks.
So what's Dolls about, Scott?
Dolls is about it's one stormy night, and a family gets their car stuck, so they end up having to seek shelter from the storm. And they get to this house that is like nearby and get let in to stay the night. A couple punk girls and Ralph show up because their car as well gets stuck in the rain.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of foreshadowing when they pass those girls. You know they're going to be involved at some point.
Yeah.
They have to bring in victims. You can't just
you can't just have the family and the child in a body count movie.
But Ralph shows up, you're like, where'd this fucking guy come from?
Right. But yeah, that's like after everybody's all like inside the house with these this old couple that you find out are doll makers.
You're gonna say old fuckers or something?
No, old
fogies. Okay, you stumbled for a second.
I don't know why, but yeah, it's the old couples that are doll makers, and throughout the night, it seems like the dolls are coming to life and killing off people that are just kind of like either
you
kind of asshole-ish.
You kind of realize that Ralph might not have a demise in this because he's a kid at heart. They keep mentioning that a little bit. The doll maker guy.
Yeah, that's kind of like the fairy tale storyline right there. If you're a kid at heart.
Well, it's also they set it up that these other people are just pieces of shit.
Oh yeah.
So you know they're gonna get it.
Yeah,
so.
The parents especially are.
It's
just
obvious
who's
up for slaughter here. The punk girls and the parents.
Yeah, I was saying, but yeah, pretty much that's the story. Like, they just these dolls come to life at night, and I mean, it's a simple plot, but it's just the way it's done is really, really interesting and fun. And
almost everything about it is great. The all the cool stop motion stuff is great.
I was going to say the stop motion is so cool,
and like the settings, like the house is great. All the settings are great.
Yeah,
the score is really good by Fuzzbee Morse.
You just had to say it, didn't you?
Fuzzbee, Fuzzbee.
Did you say that when we weren't recording? Is this the first time you're saying it on the podcast?
Yeah, because
I said that before.
Okay, my bad.
Before we started.
Oh yeah, you should get into that and say it a couple more times before we end this review.
I will.
Right.
Fuzzbee Morse.
But yeah, I'll say one thing I wanted to say before we even really get too in depth of this. This is actually one of the first films that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I watched it a lot as a kid, but I was never scared. But I liked it when I was a kid, and I watched a lot of horror movies. And like one of the main people in the movie was a kid or something. It like grabbed me.
That's one of the reasons that Friday the 13th Part 4 is my favorite, because I saw it really young and I really identified with Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah, Tommy Jarvis.
But I actually didn't see this one until I was probably 24.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I didn't see this one when I was a kid.
If you were going to tell me when I was a kid watching this that in the future you're going to be on this little radio show type thingy, and you're going to meet some dude who vapes, and he's going to pick this movie for you to review, I would have been like, get the heck out of here, because I didn't swear, But I'd be like, heck off, bro.
Heck off.
So
HE double hacky stick, yo.
But it happened.
You're doing me a heck in distress.
My whole fucking childhood flashed before my eyes when you picked this movie and I watched it. Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome. Because that's
no, fuck you. Because it was a traumatic time in my life. I grew up in a poor home and it was violent and it was terrible.
Jesus Christ. Moving on.
My issues come to the forefront of my adulthood life.
The effects in this are really great. In right at the beginning of the film, the giant teddy bear attack, like the arm rip on Carolyn Purdy and the face maul on Dad, and the bear is just like,
I love that. Like
the arm shrug.
Teddy.
The little girl actress in this is fucking super good.
Yeah, I really like her.
They could ruin the movie because there's a lot of kid actresses in horror movies back in the day that fucking sucked. Like obviously, fucking House by the Cemetery or
Bob Boyle.
Oh God.
The little girl in Monster Squad is really adorable too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And she kind of reminds me of like a slightly more grown up version of from Monster Squad. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say she's really believable as like this child that has like an overactive imagination, basically trying to escape the abuse, the fucking mental abuse that her father and stepmother give.
Well, she doesn't really seem to be fazed by the mental abuse that much.
Not so much. Probably
because she has the escape.
Yeah.
I'm a really big. This is psychology.
I'm a really big fan of like dark fantasy stuff, like not even just horror stuff, but like Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, but especially the dark fantasy horror stuff like Company of Wolves and Lamora, Child's Tale of the Supernatural. Anything that's like fantasy based but is also really dark and creepy and gothic is probably gonna.
I was waiting
appeal
for him to
me.
say